Hello everyone, it's Monday and I am Amy with Mama Bear Blue. It's Mondays with Mom and I'm here with my mom.
Debbie.
It's Debbie. You haven't changed your name. She's still Debbie.
Yeah.
So today we've got some thrift store finds to show you and some Target finds to show you that you guys have to check out if you are close to any Target at all. Some good deals. And we're going to be painting and decorating some Lazy Susans for spring. So as you are popping on here, be sure to give us a thumbs up and a share. And yeah, say hi, tell us where you're from. And I'm going to be watching for comments on this phone since that one's a little far away. Okay. Oh, let me see if we are. There we are. It's probably going to be more voices, maybe. Oh, let me see. There we go. All right. Yes, we are up. I can hopefully see comments on here. All right. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We're just going to jump right into some stuff. Mom, let me tell you what Mom's doing, and then I'll show you the finds. Mom is painting a thrifted Lazy Susan. It's a pretty heavy-duty one,
Yeah.
don't you think?
It's nice.
Yeah, so if you go down your wood aisle at Goodwill or any thrift store, you can sometimes find these. So just be sure to check them out and make sure that the ball bearings underneath spin nice and aren't real like crunchy and
Or wobbly.
wobbly. Just check it out good. But this was a good solid one that I've had for a while. And so I thought I'd have Mom put a couple coats of DIY Paints beadboard. That's a shade of white. And she's going to put 2 coats on, dry it, and then she's going to use part of the Brocante transfer from Iron Orchid Designs, the clock that's in that set. And I'll show you guys what the Brocante, there's your rubbing stick, Mom, when it's time.
Yeah, okay.
The Brocante is a really pretty transfer set they just came out with last year. It's got a lot of animals, birds, flowers, French designs. I think that's Marie Antoinette, maybe. Yeah. It's a really, really, really cute transfer. I used it last week on a live. I don't know if you guys saw that. I shared it to my Facebook page, but it was on the Iron Orchid Designs page. I went live and I used the Brocante on some shop towels and I framed them out into some thrifted frames and they turned out great. So that's a fun transfer to use. So she's using the clock out of that. And then I'm going to be using the Paint Inlay from Iron Orchid Designs that just came out at the end of last year. But I will get to that in a second. So let me show you some things I got at Goodwill recently. So these this was a while back, but this was a set of 6 of these, like, they have hangers on them, but I don't know. They're not awesome right now.
No, but you can fix that.
You know, they're okay, but people probably hung them like in a gallery looking pattern. But I was thinking sometime I plan on painting this and either putting a transfer or stenciling something in there, either as the set of 6 or individually. I could do that in just, seasonal things.
Right.
Happy Easter, something like that. So, okay, that was 6 of those. And then, my favorite. So I got these funky shaped candlesticks. One of my favorite thrifted finds. As you're hopping on here, be sure to say hi. Let us know you're here. Yeah, unique shape. I feel like maybe I've had a pair like this before. Can't remember. Anyway, those will get painted and something done to them.
They kind of look like people.
They kind of do.
Or aliens or something.
Alien candlesticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So last week I just for a second popped in because I had some time in between errands at a Goodwill, and I'm like, I really need to find some tall, really big candlesticks. And look.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, these are going to be good painted white with some of this bronzy gold showing back through.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good find. And these were $4 each.
Wow.
Yep. When you walk in Target and you go up to that little space that's in the front, they used to call it the dollar spot. It's not $1 anymore.
No, it's $5.
Yeah, anywhere from $3 to $5. But they had these Lazy Susans. So I picked a couple up, and that's what I'm working on today. I've got one in process because the paint inlay takes a little bit of time. And then I'll start the first steps on this one in a second so you guys can see it. So those were there, and I think we're going to hit a Target today.
Yeah.
To try to find more of these. Also there were these little architectural shelves. They do come where you can hang them, But I thought they'd be cute just sitting on a mantle with some, different levels of candles on it once you painted it. I think milk paint would be really pretty on these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be a little chippy. Or you could paint a coat of DIY paint and then do milk paint that'll chip. We have both dogs down here.
Yeah,
No?
Kelly just came to
Okay.
check
The dogs
in.
like to check out what we're doing. So these are only 5 as well. And so the Lazy Susans and the little shelf things were in the front in that Dollar Spot place. That's not the Dollar Spot. I think it's called Bullseye's something. I don't know. Bullseye's Deals or something. But if you go back to the section with the ink pens and stationery and school supplies, on an end cap, at least at the Target I shopped, were these solid wood, not pressed wood, not, this is complete solid wood bunnies, a couple different shaped varieties, and then the Easter eggs. So these were $5 as well, but I thought they'd be cute to decorate up, and so I think we're going to do a future live with these. But I thought that was not a bad deal with the price of wood right now.
Right.
It's really high. These are already cut nicely, fun shapes for Easter. So check out your local Target for those deals. Okay. I think you're ready.
I didn't want to
do the heat gun.
Well,
you can probably stretch it over here, Mom, instead of getting up every time.
Okay.
If you want to put it over there. I'm going to move your clock. If you have any questions as we're going along, guys, be sure to ask. All right. Let me move this paint out of the way. So, these paint inlays, I've only used one other time. Hey, Dawn. So, I'm hoping that they'll turn out okay for me during a live. That's a little risky, but it's okay. So anyway, let me show you guys. So the paint inlays come with 8 pages. This pattern is called Rose Chintz. It looks to me like vintage wallpaper.
Yeah.
I love it. Haven't used this pattern yet, so I'm going to do that one today. And what paint inlays work by putting, so like what I'm going to do on this is put 1 coat of paint, which is going to be white, dry it, put my second coat of white paint on a little thicker, and then I'm going to put one of these paint inlays. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on top of that wet paint. And these paint inlays will they're made out of paint themselves, so when I put that down and wet it, and I'll go through all this with you when we're actually doing it, and I let it dry, re-wet it, and peel it up, that paint inlay will embed into my wet paint that I painted on here. So it's not a transfer, it's definitely different, and the effect is really, really kind of pretty. Sometimes it comes off looking a little aged and worn.
Antique-y like.
Antique-y, yeah. So this is the one I stepped out earlier. I got one step ahead. So this one's actually drying, and it will be dry by the time I'm ready to move on to it. It should be dry enough that I'll re-wet it and peel it off, and I think it's going to look really pretty. I don't want to paint your phone.
It's all right.
Yeah, I was happy to find these for $5.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because there for a while I could always find Lazy Susans at the thrift stores, and then it seems lately to be one of those things that I don't see too often.
Right.
Maybe everyone's catching on to how they can transform them and make them nice again.
Yeah. It's probably true.
So I think we'll hit the Southport Goodwill today and the Southport Target.
Okay.
Guys, as usual, all the products I'm using, it's okay, Mom. It's a hair, or it might be a brush.
Yeah.
Or part of the clay from the paint. All the products we're using you can get on my website, aimeemamabearblue.com. If you're local to Franklin or the south side of Indy, you can check out my booth at the Southport Antique Mall, booth 254. And it's fine. You may need, you know what?
It's not paint. It's
here.
Either from my brush or...
Just do that. There you go.
Okay.
Now this paint over my fingerprint.
And mine.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, booth 254 at the Southport Antique Mall. And then if you need Iron Orchid Designs products or JRV products, you can also get those there, or my booth at Franklin at Farm Girl Mercantile. And my website is aimeemamabearblue.com. And feel free to message me anytime, guys, if you're doing craft projects that you see us do here, or just any using these products. If you have questions about how to use them, I'd be happy to help you guys figure it out.
I think you need
one more coat.
Okay.
After you dry that.
We're out of paint.
Drippers.
Oh.
Oh, you want some more beadboard? Yeah. So I think Ellie's going to come and help me the week of the 7th. My niece Ellie used to work for me a little bit, and she's got some spring break time, and so I'm gonna have her refill all the paint.
Awesome.
She'll love it.
Yeah. Well, she loves art, so
I know she does.
I think she'll be happy to do that.
And some other stuff I need to get done.
Yeah.
We need to go through, I think we're going to go through my thrifting hoard and just make sure I really want to keep
All of it?
all that stuff that's
Yeah.
back there. It's a lot. And some of it was given to me, not just me thrifting. So, all right. That was one coat on mine. I'm going to go get us a wet rag just real quick, Mom.
Okay.
Or no, I'll just use the baby wipes back here.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I don't have on? My apron.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
Let me get it. Because
It's okay.
you don't want to get something
Okay,
on your
all right.
shirt.
I mean, the paint will come out, but
Well,
it's okay.
Here you go.
We finally got some sunshine today. Thank
Yeah.
you. And it's still a little chilly, but I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, me too. Oh, wow.
How
That
hot?
stays hot.
It
doesn't
does. Very hot. I can't find my thing today. All right. So whenever you're painting something that's kind of an orange type of wood, like Mom's Lazy Susan, and you're going to paint white on it, you can almost be guaranteed, wow, that's really popping through, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you're going to have some bleed through. The tannins in that wood will soak up right through that white paint. With darker shades of paint, you don't see it. I anticipated that with this, and so I hit it with a coat of shellac. She painted, and there's just a couple more spots showing through. It kind of just looks like brown oil, sort of, popping through. And the heat probably will really show where we need to hit it a little bit more. Right. So once that's dry, I'm going to hit those spots with this. Hey, Shelly. Let me see. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here. As soon as that's dry, I'm going to hit it with one more coat of shellac, and then it's just going to need to dry for a bit, Mom, before
That's fine.
And then she'll have to put one more coat of white over that. But I just don't want that to
show through,
mess up with that neat clock, because this is the transfer. If you weren't here from the beginning, this is the transfer that's going to go on Mom's Lazy Susan. Okay, so I'm going to use that to get this. Are we good?
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna so this stuff stinks real bad. I suggest you do it outside when you can, but for those little spots, I'm just going to take it over to I don't want to get my transfer burnt out. I'm going to take it over to my workshop sink and just hit those spots super lightly and let that dry for about 5 minutes so she can put another coat of paint. But I've had that happen before when I'm painting furniture, and then you just kind of watch for it and put that shellac on it. You can also use other type of primers like DIY Paint sells Salvation Solution. It works really well too. Yes, Shelly, I agree. Instant gratification with the transfers. It's true. Hey Kim, how you doing? Are you at work? Are you on your break? All right. That's done. Let me take this real quick over there so we don't have fume issues. But yeah, I suggest you guys do it outside if you can. We don't really have access to quick outside. Give it a minute.
Okay.
I could let you start painting some handle sticks if you really need something to do, or you can just wait. Up to you.
I'll just wait.
Okay.
And watch you.
Okay. You know what though? Do you want to paint one of these for me, and we'll use some of the Brocante on it?
Okay.
White. White's all we need on that.
Okay. Where is our paint?
Out here. So paint that white. So this was one of the thrift store finds I showed you guys at the beginning. Hey Diane. Just paint it white, and then we'll try to wipe off anything that gets on this dark brown, because I want to keep it.
Okay, so you only want this.
I only
white.
want the orange painted white. Yep.
I might want a smaller brush.
Okay. Do you want the pointier brush so you can?
Well, just so I don't get it on the.
Yeah. I think. Let's see.
I can do
What
them.
about that? What about that I just broke and it flew off the stick?
What?
I don't know.
What the even?
There you go.
Okay.
That's better.
I can use this in the middle, but
Yeah,
then
no, that's good for edges because it's got a pointier tip, and that one's
Yeah.
called the little Frenchie,
this is
like
Frenchie.
a Frenchie, Frenchie, yeah, little Frenchie.
Little Frenchie.
Okay, so this is ready for its second coat, and the second coat is the one I'm going to put the paint inlay on. So let's get started on that. The second coat needs to be just a little thicker, not super. You don't want tons and tons of paint, but you want it enough that that paint inlay really has something to grab into and adhere to. Has anyone had a chance to use the paint inlays yet? I've used it on a little tabletop, on a piece of thrifted furniture, but I have not done it on smaller crafts. This might be a little much paint.
Well, you sure you want me to do this?
Yeah, and it's going to need 2 coats at least, probably, to
Okay.
cover that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because DIY paint, you can go back in and wipe it off. It's just a clay-based chalk paint. It will come out of your clothes if you catch it fairly early to spray it or wet it down. But it'll wipe off too. So when I'm using a wet distress, when I want to distress, I can just take a wet rag and wipe back the paint before, as long as you're doing it before you seal it. Also, this chalk paint dries super quick. So when you are using the paint inlays, you want to make sure you're ready to put that inlay on there before you, because you want all of it to be wet so it can adhere. Okay. So, the paint inlays come with 8 sheets each. And I will pull one out here and show you guys. And so it has the painted side, which is this, and then the back side. So you want to make sure you put it paint side down. And I'm just going to kind of measure, eyeball how much I'm going to need so I have enough to cover the whole thing and cut it. There's little grid lines on this too to help you guys guide your cut. Alright, I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay it straight down on the paint. I'm going to recheck it for spots that look too dry. It's spinny, very spinny. Let me make sure that I just don't want to have spots that are too dry, because then the inlay won't go down. Okay, I'm going to put it straight on. Smooth it out, and I'm going to dampen it slightly and use a wet rag to continue getting complete contact with the wood. Yeah, Shelly, I agree. They make some really pretty looks and effects, especially on furniture, I think. And I don't know, right now the rose chintz is my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to take my mist bottle, just really lightly mist this, and then my damp rag. This continuous spray bottle continues to spray.
Yes, I know. It got me in the face.
Did it?
Not today.
Not today.
But,
So just be real gentle. You don't, once you put that paint inlay on there, you don't want to shift it any, because then you're going to mar your paint image. Keep working so that you know you have good contact with the wood. Okay, just a little more water. And I'm going to set it aside to dry, and then I'm going to move to that one that's ready to be peeled back. Okay, I think we're good there. That one needs to dry. That one will get done later. We'll, of course, take pictures of everything when we're done later today. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of peek at one edge and see if I can see that the image is looking like it's going to be okay. I think that it is. Okay,
I do too.
I think it's going to be pretty.
You're not going to
So-
sell that, are you?
Well, I don't know. We could find some more at Target today.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not completely dry, but it's close. I'm going to go for it and not shoot you in the face with the water. Just really lightly wet it down so we can peel it off easily. Get some of these big drips off. Okay, I'm going to see if you guys can see as it's coming off. Can you guys see that very well? Here, I'm going to try to do it like this. Do you think
You
I
want
can
me
do
to
it like
hold it
this?
while
Let's
you-
see if I can do it like this.
Okay.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh my
I
goodness.
love it. Okay. So now you get the idea of it. I'm going to continue to pull, and then something neat about these guys is that you can use them more than once. Now, the second time you use them, it's going to be a little more faded, but I think that's a neat look. So you just need to store these with this little backing this piece of plain paper. If you want to store them on that. Isn't that pretty?
Yes, that is very pretty.
See how it kind of gives a faded effect on the parts that aren't completely adhered?
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be a keeper. All right, so definitely save that. You could try to reuse it on another small project.
That looks nice.
Very pretty. I will take this price tag off and paint the back later. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and my plan is to let it dry completely. I'm going to sand it just a little bit to soften it just a little, because I really want it to look kind of that shabby chic look.
Yeah.
And then I will seal it just like I do with, I can use Big Top, or I could use clear wax, or whatever I wanted, and maybe even a little dark wax on the edge. Maybe we'll see how that goes. So we'll have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Very pretty. And that was not hard. That was not hard to do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You want me to dry it? I still gotta wait for that. It's
still doing its thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dry this one, Mom, and I'll start painting one of them too. Maybe we can get a couple of the Brocantes done.
Oh man, this is pretty.
You're gonna show them my stool?
Show you the stool.
I did a video. I did a couple videos on this stool. So that's just one of those stools you can also find at the thrift store for like $5. Painted at Blue Iris, and I put that big pretty
I love it.
Botanist Journal is the name of that transfer with the giant sunflower. Is there ever problems with wrinkles in the inlay? So Shelly, if you don't smooth those out, you can definitely get it where the image looks wrinkled. On this one, my image isn't wrinkled at all. Where I see the wrinkles is where the white paint was. There's a few wrinkles. But I like the look of that. I don't know if you can see close enough to see the wrinkles. Just barely, like right there. So just a really quick, wipe with a 220 grit sandpaper will probably get some of those to lay down. And actually, brush strokes and wrinkles don't bother me too bad for the looks I'm usually going for, because when I would go to wax this, like if I want to put a really light coat of dark wax, the dark wax is going to catch in those wrinkles. But it kind of depends on the look you're going for too. But I didn't have any wrinkles in the actual flower images. Okay. Here's one cut.
We're gonna have to put some more paint on.
We're going through the white paint today. Beadboard is DIY paints. I feel like it's kind of a brighter white, maybe with just a slight gray undertone. White Swan I probably use the most, and it's just slightly warmer, at least to me. That's how it looks. My White Swan was empty, so we went with beadboard.
Oh, where's Ellie?
Yep. All right. I think those are pretty good. That's about 2 coats on each one. I'm going to hit that with the heat gun. Ooh, it is hot. I think that's going to be better for sure. I don't see the...
Yeah.
We'll know once you start hitting it with the heat gun. But I think we're just going to go with whatever it is.
Okay.
Hit that one right there. Just a couple little... Yep. You're good. All right. This one... I'm going to use a wet rag just where I got it on the edge of this frame and wipe that paint off.
If you had a toothpick or something that you could...
Fit down in there.
Yeah.
You mean on the edge of this little thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what I could use. Where's the rubbing stick to the transfer?
You took it away from me.
I did?
I think it's... Where is it? There's the transfer.
Here, I got it. I got 5 million sticks.
Okay.
These are the sticks that come with the transfers that you can... But I'm just going to use it to help me get some of this paint off the edge of this. We could have taped it off,
Yeah, we could have.
but we didn't. It's okay. I just want to get one brocante on here to show them, and then be working on your clock before we're done.
Okay. I'm gonna clean the
If you want to, Mom, if I can do the clock one since it's a lot bigger. If you want to do like the bee or something on this.
Yeah. You're always taking my project
I
away.
am. I'm sorry.
But it's all right.
I just
No,
might
I
be a
was
tad
little-
faster.
Yeah, you are. You are. That's true.
Just a
It
tad.
might get it done.
All right.
Oh,
I'm gonna
not
get
yet.
a little bit more on this and then hand it to you.
It has
Is
my
it still?
fingerprint, but
Well, the transfer might cover that up.
yeah.
Yeah, you too, Dawn. Are you talking about the Goodwill outlet? I just got super freaked out in there. And then you have to stand behind the line until they like blow the whistle. It was the weirdest thing. And people have like multiple carts heat with, I mean,
Stuff.
that's great if they're finding good deals. I just, I can't do it.
No.
It makes me too nervous. When I feel like I'm in competition with,
Yeah.
with a bunch
Really.
of, a bunch of thrifters.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, you're a little more selective of what
Yeah,
you buy.
I am. But you know, when someone's really going through the bins, you think, am I missing some super good deals? Ah. Okay. I can work on the edge later. That one's the one I'll have you dry so that you can get a transfer going on it.
Okay.
And
Is that all right?
it's still a little damp, but
Well,
let's see.
you want the gun?
Let me hit this with the gun just so I can get started on the clock. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. I think it's enough for me to be able to start on this clock. What's that?
Is that, are you, gotta put another coat on that?
No, I think I'm gonna go straight with the well, you are, right?
No, this is the one
You're
you
just
gave
doing
me to
that one.
dry.
We'll finish this one later.
Okay.
We'll still take pictures of everything. So, the brocante is right here. And I have 2 brocantes left on my website, guys. They've been back ordered from IOD. I'm hoping to hear any day that they're back in stock. So I have 2 left if anybody's interested. Okay. So these little IOD came out with these snappable envelopes to hold like your stamps and stuff, but they're also really good for holding all the transfer scraps that get cut up as you're doing your projects. So I think I know what I want you to put on that one.
Okay.
Maybe. Let's see. Maybe. There's a single little bird guy. I think it was one of these square looking ones. Let's see. The sheep would be cute too, though. Decisions. There's a miniature clock. Let's see if this is going to be a good fit. I think that's going to work. It'll just go slightly off the bottom. We're going to do, maybe this one will be better. Yeah, we're going to do this little French vintage looking, I don't even know, but it's cute. All right, that is done. That is done. We have a lot of cleanup today.
Oh, well.
Oh gosh, okay.
Does that look even?
Yeah, your top and bottom is set, so you just need to look and see side to side if it looks like it's got, like look at the edge of this where the image is to the edge of your frame versus this. It looks good to me. Looks good. All right, I'm going to give this a go. So this is the clock that's going to go on there. And now, I don't want to completely flatten this on there because I want to center it the best I can. And I probably could measure, but you know,
She doesn't measure.
that's probably not happening. I don't have the patience for it, and so I'm going to eyeball it. There.
Okay.
there. I'm sure there's some kind of geometry formula for centering something in a circle. But Rod, my husband, would know. Not me. I'm just checking each edge and see if it looks like about right. I'm going for it. Okay. So, here's my rubbing stick. All right. When I'm doing a bigger transfer, I just like to do kind of a once over on the whole thing, and then I'm going to start up at one of the corners and really work it from one corner over to the other. So, if you guys are watching on the replay, let me know. If you have questions, I'll go back and check, or just say hi. I'll go back and check later, answer them. All right, we're going to try it. Let's hope you're okay on this. How's yours doing?
Oh, we're fine.
Really?
Well, yeah, I think.
If you, so once I've got like a once over on it, I take a corner like this and I put this at about a 45-degree angle and I rub with this hand. With the other hand, I'm slightly pulling the transfer back and you're going to just see it release onto your wood. You don't want to put it might be an issue like with our fresh paint. You don't want to rub super hard. Is yours coming off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Because sometimes
slow.
when you rub super hard on fresh paint, you'll actually pull the paint up.
Uh-oh.
And that probably is not going to be good. But this clock was like the perfect size for this Lazy Susan.
Yeah.
I might end up, if I don't sell this one, I might keep it down here in the workshop.
Yeah.
So it just takes a little time. Just be patient, especially with these bigger transfers. I once put a really big transfer onto a dresser front. It was probably 2 feet by 3 feet.
Oh my goodness.
That was the first transfer I ever did. I'm like, let's just go for it. And it was challenging, but it worked and looked really pretty. And I sold that one. It was the one with the Be Now My Vision.
Oh, I love
The
that.
black
yeah.
dresser with the white Be Thou My Vision
Yeah.
poem or lyrics. And it sold.
That's awesome.
Are you going to sing it?
I'm sorry. I was just humming.
No, I was just asking if
No, I'm not singing. I don't sing.
You do too. Sing quiet like me.
Well, maybe.
I don't know if the other paint inlay will be dry by the time we're done. We'll go about 5 more minutes. I'm going to try to work fast and get this clock done. I really want to show you guys.
I'm trying to work fast on mine's little.
Yeah. I have a couple videos on my YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out if you're interested in knowing how to use the, thanks Dawn. If you're interested in knowing how to see some close-ups on using the transfers, I have one on there that's about applying the transfer to some thrifted file cabinets that I painted. Actually just one file cabinet. It's that one behind me, that little blue one. You can see it. So, but there I get a little closer up on how to apply them. If you've never done it, sometimes you might feel intimidated, but I promise anybody can do this. And as you're pulling up, if you see a little bit of transfer that didn't come off of the backing, just lay it back down and rub it with the stick and it should come off. There is, I think Shelly mentioned it earlier, there's something really satisfying about using the transfers. When you hear it pop off of the backing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yes, I do know that.
We're getting there. This is cute. I wonder how loud the rubbing is on the microphones.
I don't know.
Dawn said for you to sing.
I don't sing. That's Laura's job.
You might get a lot more views if you sing.
Stop, or they'll quit watching.
Yeah, we can make Laura sing.
Yeah.
Next Saturday with sisters. Laura can sing. really
yeah,
sing.
Really sing. Yeah.
We haven't done a Saturday with sisters in a while. We need to figure that out.
You need to do that.
Everyone's lives are busy. Busy. And when we were down in Florida visiting Mom and Dad, my sisters and I, we had kind of planned to do a live, and then we just didn't. We were relaxing, and
Yes.
we didn't do any thrifting this time down there, though.
No. We did go to a record store.
We went to the vintage. Well, not vintage. They have everything.
Yeah.
So we're back into loving vinyl records, and our stereo record player we use up in our living room. We use it every day. Slick stick. Let's see. When you paint glass or metal, do you use slick stick first? I've seen some crafters use that, and I think it really depends on the kind of clay-based chalk paint that you are using or that you prefer. I have never had to use that. I use DIY paint, and it's the clay-based chalk paint that adheres to metal. I don't have to prime it at all. The only time I've primed is if I'm worried about bleed through, if I'm using a white, or if the surface is so super slick like a laminate. Sometimes, I don't even know that I've used, I think what I do is just take a piece of sandpaper and just kind of rough it up to give it a little bit of tooth to hold on to the paint. But I have seen people using slick sticks. So really it depends on the type of chalk paint you have and that you're using. You don't have to do that with DIY paint. And the other kind of paint I sell is Sweet Pickins milk paint, and I've never had to use anything like that. Milk paint, it turns to like concrete on your stuff, especially if you have like that and paint mixed with salt wash will really just adhere really well. How's it coming, Mom?
It's coming.
I promise we're getting there, guys. Thanks for hanging in with us.
Uh-oh.
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 What?
I don't know. It was that sound, you know, when it's coming off.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Uh-oh.
You can line that back up. If you see you missed a little spot, just line it back up on your project and use the stick on it. That's a tiny little piece, Mom. But
I'm just trying to figure out.
where it went,
Yeah.
like a puzzle.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's right there.
Shelly, salt wash is a paint additive? Yeah. It's sorry. It has real sea salt in it. It's a paint additive, and I add it to my DIY paint and sometimes my Sweet Pickins milk paint, and it gives a lot of texture to your project. I might, before we're done, let me grab that milk painted piece over there I was working on this weekend, because
Okay.
I put some salt wash mixed with some DIY paint to make like a undercoat layer for my milk paint, and it just gives it a ton of texture. So anyway, I sell that as well. The dogs are so interested in all of what we're doing today.
She's being shy. Come here.
Well, she doesn't want to be on camera.
Oh. Well, she keeps looking at me like, are
Come
you
here,
done?
Callie. Callie, come here. Come here, girl. Come here. Will she come around? Come here, Cow. Do you want to say hi? Come here, look. Look. She's a good girl.
She is a good
I
girl.
don't know where Waylon went.
It still
Let's see.
didn't come
Have you
off.
ever removed chalk paint from anything? I wonder how hard it is to redo a piece later. Dawn, you can paint right over the chalk paint,
There it
even if it's sealed. Especially if you're using another kind of chalk paint to paint over it, it should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, I answered Shelly's question about the slick stick. So yeah, I don't use that. And then, yeah, Dawn, unless you were wanting to like, I mean, it would be challenging to try to remove all the chalk paint if you're wanting to like stain something and not repaint it. That might be a bit of a project. You'd have to sand it down. And depending on how many spindles you have, that is not fun. That's cute, Mom.
Is it?
And then do you want to show them the step where you burnish it? Or did you
Wait
do
a
that?
minute. No.
Are you still missing something on there?
Yeah.
So after you apply your transfer, you always want to take a little bit of the backing or a soft cloth, and this is the backing, the plastic, and rub the image that you transferred onto it. Just rub it, and it's kind of making it, making sure it has full adherence to your wood. Is adherence a word?
Adherence?
I think
I
so.
think
It is.
so.
It is. Have you ever said a word and thought, that
Is that
sounds
real
weird?
word?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm almost there, guys. Thanks for being patient.
Okay.
Dawn, are you wanting to remove chalk paint from something? The chairs I painted you? Are you going to remove all that paint?
Uh-oh.
I painted some chairs for Dawn and cherry picked. What?
Yeah.
We got to clean off the edges.
Yeah,
but other than
but
that,
I don't
it looks
know.
good.
Is it cockeyed?
You mean crooked?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, if it is, it's hardly noticeable. So that is the little... Well, that's okay. It's gonna be a shelf sitter. She actually didn't see where this thing. I don't
Hanger
think. Yeah,
was. Yeah.
no one's gonna hang something that small. I don't think, unless they've got a collage of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just kidding, Dawn. That's what I thought of first, though, when you said you needed to remove some chalk paint.
Uh-oh.
Have you stenciled them yet, Dawn? I painted them cherry picked, and then she was going to use a stencil
Yeah.
on the seats, I think. We can always move that hanger
Yeah.
too. But
I didn't even.
did you burnish it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. I almost am done here. We went a little long today. That's okay. This is cute. I really like this transfer. I was thinking about trying it on some bookshelves in the living room, but I don't trust myself. So are they chalk painted already, Dawn? Or are they stained and you're wanting to chalk paint them? Isn't that cute?
It is really cute.
All right, so you're just gonna burnish it. And then I think what I'm gonna do, if I was doing this on a piece of furniture that was getting a lot of wear or something, I'd definitely seal it with some Big Top first. And then probably go over it with some clear wax. So I think on this one though, I'm just gonna clear wax it and maybe put a little bit of dark wax maybe to age it. I have to see what it looks like. So much better.
Yes.
Much better. Old standard laminate, yeah. Oh, stained laminate, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you can definitely chalk paint straight over that. But if you ever want to change that in the future, you'd have to sand it all off. That might be a bit much. So I'm going to get the clear wax real quick just so they can kind of see how it changes just a tiny bit of bleed through right there. Not a
But
big
if you
deal.
dark wax it, maybe it won't show.
That's what, yeah. Let me get the clear wax and open it up. We've done a lot of projects. Okay, and then I'm going to show you guys the salt wash. Do you want to wax this while I get that?
Sure.
Okay, and you can wax this too. Just a light coat of clear. You doing okay?
A little thing tried to come up and I made it go back.
Okay. Once the wax dries, it should seal it down pretty good.
Okay.
All right, guys, so we did that. We did this one and this with the paint inlay. We did a lot today. A whole lot.
Yes.
We will, yeah, I do too, Shelly. And those birds on the brocante are so cute. So we'll be back next Monday for another Mondays with Mom. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
So much fun.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.